Yo, hello guys. As you guys probably know, I am in Krakow in a chess tournament, and I've just played my first over the board game. It was 4 hours long. I'm not gonna tell you the result yet, but yeah, you can check it out. So, d4 and f5, man. Why did she? Sorry, we were playing against Łabędź Gabriela. I was 2000 FIDE, she is 1869 FIDE. She played the Dutch, and you know what Capablanca said? If somebody plays the Dutch, let them play it. But to be honest, I hated playing against the Dutch. Like, I hate playing aggressive black openings like the King's Indian or the Dutch. Okay. So yeah, queen to c2, pawn to d5 here. Why did I go with d5, right? Because I want to break the pawn structure. I want to open up, leave this pawn kind of weak, and be able to go knight to d4 and open up my bishop right there. Okay, queen to d2. This is the only move that works, and the reason why it's because I'm looking at a5 and also defending d5. Yes, the bishop looks weird, but you know what? Once you are 2000 FIDE, you can sometimes break the rules, and they just make sense. So here I decided to move my queen back again, just to avoid any discovered attacks in the future. For now it's unavailable because if the knight moves, then I just take the rook. So yeah, I just go queen to c3, pawn to b4, gaining space. And you know what's fun? This move has two utilities, right? It's opening up the bishop and creating a battery here on this diagonal, but it's also restricting the knight. It's actually restricting the knight very well. The knight will have difficulties coming back to the game. And also, there's one downside. If my queen moves away, there's knight takes b4, and I cannot take back because, oops, the rook is taken. Cool. So I decided to go gf. The reason why is, I want to develop the bishop. So if I open it up if I develop it like this, then it's kind of dead, right? So I decided to open up this diagonal and then place my bishop there, and that's the only move that kind of changes the evaluation to black's better position. And I haven't analyzed this game fully. Like, they say bishop f6, computer says bishop f6 is the best, but yeah, I wanted to play queen to d2, takes. Let's say she goes rook f6, I wanted to go king to h1, and you know what? I felt like I was good here, but actually she had g5, okay, and now she's looking at my h2 square, which is scary, and going to attack my only defendant of the pawn. So I could have lost this game. I'm lucky, I guess. Okay, so she decided to block with the rook, and I didn't like this move. I thought the bishop move is actually the best for me. I thought that I wanted her to play the bishop, but okay. The computer says the rook is bad. Well, it just looks weird, this rook. It's gonna soon be attacked by the bishop, so why would you do something like this, right? Bishop g4, knight to g1, the best computer move. I mean, they're gonna ban me for cheating, I think. I make many computer moves in this game. Yeah, the reason I want to defend the bishops. This bishop is dead, so I just want to exchange this active bishop for my dead bishop. Bishop h3, that's what we're talking about. And that's another thing in chess. If you are material up and your opponent is trying to avoid exchanges, they will need to move away, and then your pieces will be just better than their pieces eventually. And now look, 2 moves later, my bishop is actually better than her bishop, and I never expected that this is gonna happen. Queen h3, and yes, I saw bishop to c8, but now during the game I can't. Now during analysis, I can't remind myself why I did not choose to play this move. This was a weird move and I saw it, but I didn't play it. I don't remember why. Okay, knight to f3. Takes. Oh, maybe no. I saw bishop to c8 now. No, I'm not sure. Maybe I show bishop to c8 now, but now that's just bishop f3. He takes f, and the bishop needs to come back here. So I saw bishop to c8 too late, unfortunately. Rook goes to the open file. Queen takes g4. Knight d4. Looking at e6. Getting ready to just attack the pawn, the rook, the pawn. Amazing knight, supported by the pawn. Queen f3, the only move. And now I was thinking, obviously I want to play queen e4, but I was like, let me first do that. Rook to g1, and now she's gonna move away. And I'm gonna go knight to e6, rook to f7, and queen to e4. But the problem is, she had knight to e5. And you know what? I did not actually calculate this variation fully. So here, I was shocked for a while because I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot move here because queen e4. Oh, I still don't end up losing because there's queen to g2, she cannot take because there's a checkmate. Okay, but this is something you don't want to do. Why would you give away the e4 square, right? So I was thinking maybe queen to g2, but then queen of, like, why would you put the queen to a not to a less active square? Rook to g6 works, knight to f3, and now the thing is, if you take, she takes the exchange, right? And she is winning. But you can attack the rook with the knight. Move away from this knight to attack the rook. Crazy, to be honest. And I looked at her face, she didn't see this move. I saw this move like 2 moves before, like here, obviously. But I should have seen it before, and yeah, she didn't see it even in this move. She didn't see that there's possibility of playing knight to e6. So something that is difficult for us to spot. Knight to e5, and now just pushing, right? The pawn is attacked, so I need to push it. Knight to e6. This is pushed. This is very weak. This is the problem in the King's Indian or the Dutch. If you don't push those pawns, they often end up very easy targets for the white pieces. And that's what's happening in this game. Now I decide to play b5 to connected pawns that are just gonna go and promote. I mean, now you cannot stop this. Those 2 pawns with the knight. So knight to c4, pawn to c7, and she eventually gave up. And you know what? I still had 35 minutes on the clock. She had 27 minutes on the clock. These games can be 6 hours long. I'm scared, man. I don't want to play for so long. Just too tiring, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.